Good day everyone. So today I'm going to show you the create collection using MongoDB in one compiler because in Mongo Compass and VS Code it didn't function. So I'm going to paste here the created program that I done earlier. Yeah. So I paste it. So and we're going to click run to see if it's created. So here's the output. It said acknowledge, so means it is already created.
So for the drop collection command in MongoDB, we are going to use this database named game. And as you can see, it has two example collections, and we are gonna delete one of them. In this kind of database in games, the player infos are important because this is the identity of each user. While these player store logs are pretty much useless because they are logs from in-game purchases with in-game currencies that are not refundable. So in this case, we are gonna delete player store logs. To do that, let's create MongoDB playground. Type MongoDB and find the create MongoDB playground and delete this and input this command. Use parenthesis apostrophe and then the database name. In this case, we are gonna use game. And the command for deleting the collection is db dot the collection name player store logs dot drop of parenthesis and then run it, and if you see this true, close the database and open it. Now we only have player info collection.
Here's an example of a collection in a database. So as you can see, there's already inputted data on it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First, let's create a database named AdvancedDB and a collection named Players. Next, let's start inserting data on it. I'm going to type it on the notepad first and just copy and paste it later on the command prompt. So there are two kinds of commands for input data. One is for single and the other one is for bulk or multiple ones. So I'll show first how to insert a single object. So don't forget to capitalize the O in one or else the code won't work. So I'm going to use 101 as object ID. Because take note that if you don't assign one, the system will create one by itself. So don't forget to put commas between the object's datas. Also, don't forget to put a semicolon at the end of the command. So it has already been acknowledged. Now let's see it on the collection. You can see here the object or the data has been successfully inserted. Now let's try to insert multiple datas. For this one, don't forget to capitalize the M in insert many. So for the objects, I'll just copy the examples I already made. Okay, so don't forget to put commas between the wavy brackets. So that is how to do the insert data.
MongoDB comparison operators. The comparison operators are very useful for finding the specific value of data within a long list of data in a collection. For this, I will be using this collection named player info from database called game. First is the EQ operator. This operator is used for finding values of the same or equal value. So let me copy this and put this into comment. The command for EQ operator is this bracket, then the name of the data you want to display. In this case, I will be using this rank and colon, and don't forget that this is case sensitive. Then another bracket for the operator. Don't forget the $sign before the operator, EQ operator. Then the specific value of the data you want to be displayed. In this case, I will be using this 9023 and run. There we go. Next is the GT operator, which is used for finding data that are greater than a specific value. So let me comment this and then change this EQ to GT. And what I want is to display values that are greater than 10k. So there are 7 datas here, and when I run it, now it only has 6 because the 7th data has 9k value. So if I change this to 20k, these data that are in below 20k will be removed. Now we only have 3 datas. While the GTE operator is used for finding data that are greater than or equal to specific value. So I'll add E here, and what I want is greater than or equal to 20k. So we only have 3 datas. But the difference between GT and GTE is in GT, if we input a equal value, like 20346. That value won't be displayed because it only displays greater than this value. And if we put GTE, it will output this 204346 because they are equal. Then the LT and LTE operators are just opposite of GT and GTE respectively. These operators find data that is less than the specific value. So let's try 20k. It will display only values that are less than 20k. Oh, let's try LT first, and less than 20,000. So the displayed values are those less than 20,000. And if we input LTE and the specific value, let's say 16357, still the same. And let's try the below 10k. It will output only one value because this is the only value with less than 10k. Next is NE operator, which finds values that are not equal to a specific value. So let me comment this and show all the data. And I want to choose the data that I don't want to be shown is this, the ID 10,003. There we go. The ID 1 isn't shown. Then IN operator for finding a set of values within a collections. So the command for IN, the data should be inside a bracket and separated by comma. So I also want 36173 and 16357 to be displayed. So run this and there we go. You have them. The NIN operator is a combination of NE and IN operator, so it finds values that are not in the set of a specific value. To do that, let's add NIN and run this code, and this data will not be shown. There, there's only 4 values. We removed the 3 values earlier.
Okay, now let's use find in logical operators. I want to filter the player achievement maniac that has a rank within 10,000 to 20,000. So I will use the operator and then within that is the player achievement and then the maniac. because we use and if we want to display both of the element inside. So the maniac, and on the second bracket is the rank, and then the greater than operator and less than or equal operator, because as what I said earlier, I want to filter 10,000, the rank within 10,000 to 20,000. So it display here that the rank here is that 16,000 and the player achievement is maniac. Okay, so now we're gonna use logical operator not using find. So I want to filter all rank that is not greater than 10,000. So let's see the result. Okay, it shows here that the rank that display is less than 9,000 because as what I said, I call not. So it display not greater than 10,000. Okay, so now let's use another logical operator that is NOR or not or. So we're using this logical operator NOR if you want to display anything on the document that is not included on the bracket that we inserted. So I inserted maniac and savage. So anything that on the document that is not maniac or savage. See the results is bloodthirsty. So and killing spree and beginner. So it's not on the bracket that I set. So let's use or. So you can see the difference between or. So if we use or, this is mean we want to display anything that is on the inside the bracket.
So good day, my name is Raymatthew Reyes and we're going to start with the element operator. So the first one in the element operator is the exist. So for the exist, we're going to type exist followed by an in operator. It means that a data must exist within the given arrays shown in here in order to come up with an output. So if we're going to execute this, we're going to type db.playerinfos.find underscore id exist in operator and followed by the given arrays 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we're going to execute this, it will look like this. So the outcome are going to be like this. ID 1, 2, 3, and 4. The ID 1, 2, 3, and 4 are being shown in here because it exists within the given arrays 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for the second one, the type operator. For this, we're going to type db.playerinfos.find1 because we're only going to find a single data from the database, followed by player achievement. I use a type 2 because number 2 is a string and the player achievement as being shown in here is a string. So if we're going to execute this one, it will look like this. ID 1, player name Angeli, rank 10003, player achievement savage. So it is a single data from the database because we used the function find1. So for the next one, we're going to tackle about the expression function. So for the expression function, since it allows aggregation, we're going to use underscore ID which is greater than 1. So if we're going to execute this, it's gonna look like this. ID 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. um, the data from the outcome 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 are being shown in here because it is greater than 1. So for the next one, we're going to use the mod. So for the mod, it is used in order to select the document where the value of a field is divided by a divisor has the specified remainder. So for this, this is the divisor and this is the remainder, the one. So we're going to find a number in which if it is divided by 2, it will have a remainder of 1 in the section of underscore ID. So for the next one, we're going to use the regular expression. So the regular expression are used in order to find matching strings in queries. So for this one, we're going to find a player name in which it starts with an R. So if we're going to execute this, it will look like this. So for the execution of the code, ID 5, 6, and 7. So the player name of the 5, 6, and 7 are it all starts with an R. So Raymatthew, Regine, and Renz. So for the next one, we're going to tackle about the hide and show fields. So for this one, if we're going to find the underscore ID without showing it, we're going to type it in a particular way like this: db.playerinfos.find open parenthesis underscore ID colon 0. So if we're going to execute this one, it will look like this. So for the outcome of the code, it will look like this. So for this one, it is not showing the ID, but it is showing the other data like the player name, the rank, and the player achievement. So for the next one, we're going to tackle about the LM match. So since the underscore ID is in an array, we're gonna use it for this one. So for the LM match, the data should meet the condition in which it is greater or equals to 7 or less than or equals to 1, followed by comma, open bracket, underscore ID that $sign colon 1. So there's a colon 1 in here. So if it is executed, it will only show the item in which it has met the condition.
Hi, I'm Regine and I'm from Group 2 and my assigned topic is about update. Okay, I already create a collection and a database. As you can see here, it shows a document that has 7 inputs. Okay, to see all the inputs, I use db.playerinfos.find. So the player infos are the collection name. So we're gonna update a single input in document. So we're gonna use db.playerinfos.update. Inside the open and close parentheses, we have a bracket, 2 brackets, 1 bracket for the for the name, and second bracket is for the data that you want to update. For example, the player name Ange climbs the rank this season from 1003. So we will change it later. So we will use the player name inside the selection criteria and then the name Ange. And the second bracket, we will place the expression set to set the update. I click the double colon. So inside the bracket of set is the expression or the updated data. Inside the quotation is the rank name and the data that you want to update. So rank colon, and then from 1003 the player edge climbs to 2000. So I will run the code and let's see. Okay, so it's already done, and as you can see in the right side, it has a match count of 1 and a modified count of 1 because we only update one data or one document. Okay, so we refresh the document and let's see. Okay, the rank of Ange is already updated to 2000 and the previous one is the 10003. So updating is complete. So we will try naman to update many. To update many, we will use again the syntax of db.playerinfos or the collection name dot update, and then we will add the word many. Okay, I will update player achievement that has a word legendary on it. So we see that on document 4 it has a legendary, and on document 7 it also has a legendary. So we will place the player achievements here in the selection criteria, and then the word legendary. So I will change also this into player's achievement, and then I will change all the legendary into maniac. So I will use the quotation. Inside the quotation is the maniac. So all the player achievement that has legendary will change into maniac. So let's see and let's try to run the code. So as you can see again on the right side, it has a modified and count of 3 because as you can remember, there are 3 player achievement that has a legendary. So if we're gonna refresh the document, the player achievement on number 2 is already changed into maniac, and also this number 4, and then the last document is already changed into maniac. So that's how the update many works. So it updates many document in one code.
In this, we're gonna try the delete command in MongoDB. So let's start. So start with stating db and then the collection name, which is the player, and then the delete command, and then if you wanted to just remove one document within the collection, type 1 and then open close parentheses, open bracket, and then state the value. Suppose that we wanted to delete player 2 with the player name Ginelle with the player ID 2. So let's try. And then the value, which is 2, and then that's it. So let's try to run the code. Yeah, and then that's it. As you can see, there is the output says that there is one deleted value within the table. So now let's proceed to delete many commands. So again, type db and then the collection name and then delete. Now we gonna replace the one with many because we wanted to delete more than one document within the database. And then open close parentheses bracket, and then suppose that we wanted to remove players with rank lower than 12,000. So to do that, type rank and then type the syntax dollar and then LT, which is short for lower than. This will cover the values lower than 12,000. So I forgot, another open bracket is required, and then the value 12,000. So let's try if this code will work. Then that's it. As you can see, there is deleted two deleted documents lower than 12,000, which is the player 1, which has only rank 1,000 10,003, and player Renz with rank 9,023. So it is important to wrap up the process. If you wanted to remove a document on your collection, a delete command could be a single one, but yet contains multiple specifications. So it is also important to the project if the player no longer exists or wish to delete their account, or their account should be banned due to any suspicious actions or anomalies going on there. So by the use of delete command, you can easily remove their data in the collection or the database. So that's all.
Good day. Next, we have text search. As you can see, a database and collection are already created, and there are already existing documents here. For the text search, the first thing that we have to do is to create an index that will allow us to do the text search. We will not be able to text search without creating an index in the collection, so we have to write that first. So to create an index, we write db.collectionName.createIndex. In our case, player info is the collection name. Inside the parentheses and the curly braces, we will write the key name with a string value, then write text beside them. So we have player name and player achievement here. After successfully creating an index, we will now use a text operator to search a specific text from our collection. So, for our example, I search for Irish. Upon running, we will see all player info with the player name Irish. Then next, we will try to search a text from player achievement key. So we have here Maniac. In here, we have two documents that have player achievement Maniac. So we are expecting 2 returns of documents. So let's run this now. Then that's it. We have 2 returns. Then through the text operator, we can also search for exact phrases. For example, let's try searching for LEJARDE. So upon running, we can notice that there is no return at all. It is because we don't have such record in our collection. But if we try searching for Irish only, let's see that. We will see the fields under the player name Irish. We can also try this in player achievement key. So we write Savage here. Then upon running, the return contains all documents with Savage player achievement.
Good day. So today I'm going to discuss the sort program in MongoDB using one compiler. So first, I'm going to paste the code that I've done earlier. So here in sort program, we're going to make in ascending order the player rank. So that's why in sort I put the player rank and 1. So it means of 1 it is ascending order. So here the output when we run it. So as you can see, the player ranks is in ascending order. It is increasing